BTB fans, Thomas here. I'm gonna do a bat rep. Playing with, where is he? Paul.
Hi.
Hi, Paul. How you doing, man?
Good.
Good.
Playing Tyranids.
Playing Tyranids. He's got the got his pajamas on. It's good. He's channeling me. All right. Well, let's talk about the armies we're playing. This is an army of I always forget the video game colors.
Blood Ravens.
Blood Ravens. Thank you. It's Blood Ravens. Painted up by Studio Guys. It's a army for sale, so check it out. There will be a link to it on the liner notes, I'm sure.
Ooh, these are sexy.
No, ooh, look at that hand. Just gonna check the hand out.
I could be a hand model.
Be a hand model,
Yeah, that's right.
like Zoolander.
Yeah, I really take care of my hands too. I put lotion on them every day. All right, I failed. All right.
I can't.
Anyway, the army is.
I make sure that they're really taken care. They're very supple.
They're very supple.
If you must know. I think you should stop.
We got this in HD. Look at this.
That's like.
Oh wow! Where do you come back? All right, we're gonna.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, all in one take. Here we go. So my army. I've got what the models are here. I thought I'd try this out. I played against it, never actually played with it. Tigurius and the Centurion Star. And then added to that, I brought my favorite character combo, which is usually a captain, in this case, the Chapter Master, with the Teeth of Terra and a Power Fist, Artificer Armor combo. And he might even have an Auspex. We'd have to look at the points.
Teeth of Terra?
Teeth of Terra, yeah, it's one of the relic weapons.
No, that's fantastic. I'm imagining it as like this really old, like steampunk pair of dentures that the captain like puts in, putting in my Teeth of Terra.
The giant black chainsword. Anyway.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. The reason
that wasn't what I was imagining.
The reason you bring it is it's a rampage sword. It gives him it's +2 strength, AP3 at his initiative. And if he's outnumbered, of course, he gets an extra D3 attacks. And then it's a specialist weapon, so it pairs with the Power Fist nicely. So he can either strike at initiative 5 with a potential extra attacks, or he can strike at initiative 1 with strength 8, AP2. So that's him. Then of course there's Tigurius with his silliness. As far as troop choices go, I have 10-man tactical squads.
You have one of those.
I have one 10-man tactical squad, thank you, that is a veteran sergeant with a Power Fist, a plasma cannon, a melt-a-gun, and then they brought a Razorback as a dedicated transport. And then I have a 5-man scout squad, close combat weapons, with the chainsword guy is carrying, that's toting his version of a power sword for the scouts, rules-wise. Venerable Dreadnought with double autocannon as an elite choice. Stern Guard 5-man, 2 Meltas, 3 combi Meltas, a Power Fist on the Sergeant. They have a drop pod. Then heavy support is the Land Raider with extra armor, multi-melta. The Centurions, of course, they have grav cannon, grav amp, and then the Hurricane Bolters, and then a 10-man Devastator squad with 4 las cannons. So there's some potential for, of course, a couple of combat squads there. 1850, and then here's what they're playing against. Paul, what are we playing against?
Okay, so for troops, I have 25 Termagants with 10 Devours.
Okay.
And then 20 Termagants with 20 Devours in a Tyrannocyte with Venom Cannons. And then 20 Hormagants in a Tyrannocyte with Venom Cannons.
All right, this is the BTP turn your drop pod, whatever it's called. What do you call it again? The Tyrannocyte. That's what it's called. The pistachio. It's a giant pistachio, folks.
And then I have a Haruspex with his Scythe Tail in a Tyrannocyte.
Okay.
And then I have 4 Zoanthropes with a Neurothrope.
Okay.
And then 3 Hive Guard, and they have no upgrades. And then the Hive Crone, and 3 Biovores, all that stuff there. And then for HQs, I have Death Leaper. Decided to try him out because he's my favorite. And then a flying hive turn with Twin-Link Devourers.
Okay, cool. All right,
That's it.
well, I'm going to ask you lots of questions because I don't play against Tyranids very often.
Yep.
What board are we playing on? We're playing on this guy, the frozen snowy cityscape. That's the studio army, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that army is also for sale, just so everybody knows. And then I might put my foot in my mouth, but I think this set of terrain is for sale too. Anyway, here we are on this board, and let's roll and see what scenario we're playing. You want to do that? A 6. That is the football, the relic. The relic. So it's one objective in the middle that can be carried by anybody now in 7th edition. Doesn't have to be a troop or anything. And it's worth 3 victory points. Of course, there's still First Blood, Slay the Warlord, and Capture or Line Breaker as options. We'll roll for scenario or for psychic powers and warlord traits, and then I like to roll after you roll for those. I like to roll for the deployment type, and then we roll to see who goes first. They get to choose the deployment type, or whether they're going to deploy first, second. They deploy. The second player deploys. Then the first player will decide if they want to go first or second. If they choose to go first, then the second player, of course, will get the attempt to seize the initiative. So we'll go to that point. Oh, and then of course the roll off to see, or a roll to see if we do night fight if either player desires. So we'll go to that point. We're gonna get some paper and pen going for psychic powers, since both sides have psychic powers. You might have set psychic powers, right? Or does your...
The only ones that set are the one off his zone throws, but they roll another one.
Okay, cool. So he's gonna roll for some. We'll do that on camera, but we're gonna change cameras. All right. So psychic powers and warlord trait for the Tyranids.
All right, I'm gonna roll my Hive Tyrant's warlord trait first.
Off the book.
Yep.
6.
If the warlord suffers a wound, it gains feel no pain at the beginning of the next movement phase.
Okay.
Okay.
That's cool.
That's weird, but I'll take it. And then the Hive Tyrant's power, a 3.
This is off the book powers, I
Off the
assume.
Tyranid trait. Because I have to. I don't have a
A
choice.
2.
A 3 and a 2.
Okay.
Which will be
Onslaught and the Horror.
Okay.
And then the zone throps, they automatically get Warp Blast, and then they get one more, which will be Warp Blast again.
Sorry, we had a battery change that needed to happen. So we just saw a second 6 and then a third 6.
Third 6. Jesus, Paul.
They really want some warp
The
blast.
Onslaught.
Onslaught instead. And then of course you brought the special new character, with the white new white dwarf, right?
Yeah, he's
So-
not really a character, he's just more of a sergeant.
He's a sergeant, an upgrade. So he gives them another power, right?
Spirit Leech.
Spirit Leech, okay. And
Which
the
is a
spirit,
special power.
now
that
the
he
Spirit
has.
Leech, if anyone's not aware how that works, is they cast it, and it works kind of like the old Doom of Malantai rules,
Yep.
where a unit that gets hit with it has to make a leadership check on 3d6, and if they fail, for every point they fail, they lose it. They take a wound with no armor or cover.
Yep, and then I get an additional power. I get an additional die for every wound that only they can use for only Warp Blast.
Okay, so basically
Actually pretty good.
you throw a bunch of stuff at Spirit Leech, throw their powers at Spirit Leech, their warp charge at Spirit Leech to get the Spirit Leech off, get it to succeed, and then right afterwards you're like, well, I killed this many guys. You know, it's a little bit of a gamble. Maybe they just roll really well in their leadership, right?
Yep.
But if not, then you get those extra dice to basically boost you and give you a free warp blast.
Yep.
Okay,
That's the idea.
that's the idea. Okay, John over here.
He finally gave in. He was like over there just like fidgeting. Come on. We now want to play with it.
All right, so is that all your warp? Is that all your stuff?
That's everything.
Hey, I'm trying to do a professional bat rep here, man. You guys are.
This is
John, hold your hand out.
Hey, see how supple it is?
Can't beat
He
him,
was
join
just
him,
trying
right?
to find an excuse to touch my hand.
Touche. All right. I'm gonna.
I just have a quick question.
Sure.
What is he playing this as?
Death Leaper.
Okay, fantastic. Because this is like a monstrosity that they just Ren converted that up for no apparent reason one day, and yeah,
It looks pretty good.
yeah, it's a
Except it's
gangling
like 3 times
weirdo,
the size of
like
normal
wires for.
That's the way 40k should be, big and monstrous. All right, so I'm gonna take. We're gonna go with. What are we calling this terrain, by the way? Paul, this is a question for you. What are we calling this terrain?
The snowy Tyranid terrain.
I'm going. Yeah, no. I mean, what is it? Is it just 5+? Is it runes? What?
That's
It's
awesome.
game rules.
Classic
I don't
left
know.
versus right brain here.
Okay. Well, it looks like runes to me.
Ruins.
Okay, great. That being the case, I'm going to go ahead and roll off of strategic traits. This is my 5, and it's for my. No, it's the chapter master. 5 on the strategic. Divide to conquer. While my warlord is alive, your opponent has a -1 modifier to the reserve rolls. I accept. I'm going to keep that. That could be very good, considering that he has 5.
Oh, this can start on the board, can it?
Can that start on the board?
I don't know.
It's a regular flyer, right?
And
It's
Oh,
flying
okay.
monstrous creature, right?
It's flying monstrous creature. So he could start. He potentially for sure has 3. For sure, he has 3 units
Yeah.
that are going to start in reserve. So that's definitely worth keeping. Tigurius, I'm going to go with divination. You know, most people would be like, "Oh, why aren't you just trying to go for the invisibility?" Well, I have a bad taste in my mouth from that. Now I know that I randomly rolled it and got it against the game with Dave. I mean, not with Dave. I'm sorry, with Rich the one time. And it's funny because if they were to give Space Marines in general, not just Tigurius, divination as an option, I think that more players would just choose to take divination rather than rolling for telepathy. But when you look at telepathy, especially its Primaris power, it's like, well, I might as well just try to attempt to get the most broken power in the game. But anyway, I'm going to roll for divination. Now, does he still get to re-roll these if he doesn't get the ones he wants?
Let's find out.
you probably just get the
Divination, 5 with divination. That is misfortune. If I get to re-roll, I'm going to re-roll that. Misfortune is not nearly as good as it used to be. In 6th edition, it was a re-roll all successful saves. Now it just gives a
Okay, here you
rending.
go. When generating psychic powers, Tigurius may reroll any or all of the dice to see which powers he knows.
There you go. All right. So I'll re-roll that misfortune into a 1. Foreboding. That's great. And while it's in effect, the unit has counterattack and can fire Overwatch at full ballistic skill rather than 1. That's nice. It's nice, but it's not going to be the greatest thing ever if he's joined to the Centurions, since the Centurions cannot Overwatch because they are slow and purposeful. But, well, whatever. Better than the other power. A 2. 2 is forewarning. That's the 4+ invo, and I will definitely keep that. And a 3rd power, 4. Precog. Meh. Precog is not. Precog affects just Tigurius himself. He doesn't have an invulnerable save unless, of course, I also had forewarning on him, which is a lot of effort for something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and re-roll that. I really want 3. Oh, 5. Great. Well, I guess I ended up with misfortune after all. Okay.
What's 3 again?
3 is perfect timing.
Oh, right.
So no cover saves would have been nice.
You
That was the re-roll. So, because I took all my powers from divination, I get prescience for free, and I also come with force because I'm a librarian with a force weapon. So, there you go. That's my stuff. That's my powers. You want to roll for?
I switched my Zone Thropes Onslaught out for Dominion,
Okay,
which boosts their synapse range.
cool. So here's the deployment type.
5.
Great. So it's what I call the
Sandwich?
sandwich. I call it the sandwich. Most people are.
Or it's like the club sandwich.
It's like the club
diagonal
sandwich, the grilled cheese. That's what I call it.
diagonal slice.
I call them hot dog, hamburger, grilled cheese.
Because Thomas loves food.
Because I have a baby. I have a 2.5-year-old.
Because he has a problem.
I do have a problem. I play this game too much. All right. Cool. Let's roll. Did you want night fight?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Not this one.
Well, you rolled a 1 and a 3.
There.
Now you kind of rolled a 6. Was that kind of a roll?
I rolled that one.
Oh,
Because I
okay.
dropped
all
two
right,
dice,
fair
so
enough. It's
both
6.
of those are mulligan.
We have night fight. We have night fight. It's great. And let's roll to see who deploys first. I think that's right. Or at that point,
That one.
he got a 2, maybe.
Do over. No, it's gonna.
He got a
stay.
2.
Should've.
Yeah, I got a 2.
Do over.
He's gonna throw from off table again. A 6 this time. I got a 1.
That die's been rolling 6s like all
I'll
day.
go first.
Okay,
Throw that
so
die away, hide
you're
it,
gonna
get
go
rid of it.
first. So which deployment zone are you gonna pick?
Which sandwich?
Which which way are you going to cut the sandwich?
I'm gonna cut it this way.
He's cutting the grilled cheese this way. Okay.
And I'm gonna take this.
And he's taking that corner over there. Okay. And of course, like we said, we have the relic, or the one that we usually call the football. I played it last week, right before we had the Super Bowl. I hope everyone watched Super Bowl, enjoyed that. I did.
I'm gonna go with there.
It was fun.
It's
pretty close.
How well that does me.
Yeah, that's pretty close. Now, in fairness, he does have a line down the middle that shows him where the 24-inch.
Yeah, I can find the line, but oh look, it's 24.
Hey, he made it.
And then this is the difficult part.
Here, come over.
Right.
Just come over here and
Yeah, I guess that's true.
throw it down right there.
36.
Only
it's
two inches off.
There, yeah.
Cool. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. He's gonna deploy. I'll deploy, and then we'll go from there. All right.
He's spooked out.
So you're gonna minus from Tigurius' leadership?
Yeah, because he's spookered by the Death Leaper. So you get minus D3. Minus 2.
So he's leadership 8.
Yeah, take that.
Okay.
You're so scared.
Because we're so scared. Take that.
That's literally what it is.
It used to be really good.
It used to be really good when you had
Used to be really,
powers
yeah.
of leadership.
Used to be
But then
pretty
it's
nasty
like,
against
oh,
recyclers.
well, nah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Well,
Hey, but if you perils within 12 inches of him, you get another minus 3, so he's going to be leadership 5 if he perils within 12 of a Tyranid.
it's pretty hard to peril with
Yeah,
Tigurius. Like, you kind of have to be asking
I'm
for
saying
it.
all this to
I don't
drive
have-
my point home of how stupid it is.
I don't have invisibility, so there's no power I need to roll. I really need to succeed with.
So you're putting the Teeth Master with the Centurions, and Tigurius with the Cistern Guard?
Possibly? I'm going to wait until he deploys, and then we'll see. Nah.
Well,
Okay.
why wouldn't you? Why would you ever not just?
The
put
Land
Tigurius
Raider
with them?
only has space for 10 models.
Right.
A Centurion takes up 3 models.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to put Tigurius with them because Tigurius' powers don't have to... He doesn't have to be in the unit to cast the powers on them.
Right. It would just be perfect timing if you got that.
Yeah, and I didn't get perfect timing, so Foreboding is completely useless. So it'd be better to put
I get you.
Tigurius, for instance, in with the Devastators, which I might do, because the Devastators...
Las Cannons and Las Cannon Overwatch.
Las Cannon Overwatch, and I probably would still prescience the Centurions. It'll depend on... I mean, we got a lot of big terrain here, and obviously, you're looking at it from this angle, and man, my lines of sight are not as clear as I thought they were, blah, 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 kind of thing. I'm saying that for the benefit of the camera, really, because I knew this was the case, and I love it.
It sound like you love it, even though I know you love it. That didn't make sense.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Loved it.
I do love it. Here's my problem. My problem is that rather than it being and this is the same thing that people will have listened to me talk about forever and ever, over and over, till I've talked it to death. When the game is better when you use more terrain, but you don't have to use more terrain. Like obviously GW is like, hey, make the game whatever you want it to be, and that's fine. That's great, and everybody can enjoy it as a beer and pretzel style game if that's what they want to do. I find that something's been lost with the lack of balance and with the lack of some more rules, kind of. I mean, and I don't want everything to be ruled up and make it so hard for me that I can't just decide to, make a difference, make some changes that I want to make. But where it's so open-ended right now that even if I'm just playing a game with somebody here at the studio, that I'm going to interpret the game, play the game differently, and by a different set of rules than I might play in my basement. That's frustrating to have to relearn the game against everybody. That's something that I kind of have a problem with. I don't know.
What does it have to do with the terrain?
What it has to do with the terrain is that the game is a better game with more terrain, and yet there's no rules about, hey, this is the amount of terrain you should use. Like, they tried to do it for 6th edition, and it was just a very overworked, very hard to use system. Like, it was like, oh, hey, let's try and do this, but let's make it as difficult as possible, kind of. Anyway, so he's still deploying. We'll come back after he's done. All right, show us where you deployed, Paul.
Alrighty. So I stuck the 2 flyers behind these 2 buildings here.
Okay.
And then the Hive Guard are going to try and hide in this building here because they don't need line of sight to shoot. And then these guys chilling over here, the Neurothrope on the end to try and keep everybody in synapse. Bivores just chilling in the back in the building because they're artillery barrage, so they don't need line of sight or anything like that either. Then Death Leaper is All the way over there in the corner. All the way over there.
Oh, all the way over there, infiltrating.
All the way over there.
Okay. I forgot those guys were barrage. I'm going to change my deployment real quick.
No, it's not allowed.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. It's going to happen.
I'd report
It's going to be a thing.
you. I'd report
So I had 3 of these last can guys on the roof here, but with barrage, that means he can actually hit them specifically, whereas the goal is to actually have them behind other guys so that other guys take the wounds for them. So we'll go with a little bit cruddier shooting solution or line of sight solutions for not getting shot to death solutions. Especially since barrage chooses specifically which model they can land on, but cannot land inside buildings. So if a building has a roof, that is. Alright. Yeah.
So after
Okay, I guess.
one of those templates for one machine. That's the AOV with a slide ruler on it. So you just turn it, whichever direction you on the slide ruler. Cool. So it's like
Cool. Now that I've done that on camera and you guys have watched me do it, the goal being to try and spread out a little bit to make sure I'm actually in
gonna try and get it.
coherency with Laserius there. Okay, so my deployment. Land Raider with the Chapter Master and the Centurions right here. Made sure that I was outside 24 on those zone throws so they can't lance me on the first turn. This guy back here got the tactical squad in it, the combat squad and tactical squad. I did combat squad them. The other half's up there on top. So I made sure they're outside. They're 30 plus inches away from the Hive Guard, so that the Hive Guard won't be able to get a shot on them for turn 1. Dreadnought back here, same deal. Tried to make sure I was outside 30 inches of the Hive Guard. Scouts. Scouts are infiltrated down in here. And then, obviously, I have the drop pod, stern guard. You see that one? You can see the one guy in the doorway here.
Yep.
So we'll just move him out of line of sight.
There you go.
There we go. Okay. Cool. I'm going to attempt to seize the initiative because why not? You'll deny that I can do that. I rolled a 5 anyway.
I rolled a 6.
All right. Cool. Your turn. Go ahead and move and then come back for after movement.